Okay, everybody. Hello, 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 and happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. You know what? Hey, it's Halloween. That's all I know. That's all we need to know. And I tell you what, guys, yes, thank you very much. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate it. It's pretty cool, actually. The friends are, thank you, Starla. They're offering some amazing gifts. I appreciate that very, very much. The gifts, quite honestly, on TikTok, we turn right around and support our friends, the MKS Kids Foundation. And so, we appreciate that. They are an orphanage that we're partnering with. Well, guys, look, so we're going to have, thank you. I appreciate that. We're going to have a fun time. Look, it's Halloween. Yes, I love Halloween. And yes, I celebrated Halloween as a child. Oh my gosh. It's the devil's day. It's the devil's day. Just have some tea. just sit down and have some tea somewhere. So as the English, the tea's the biscuits. Just have some, you need to put a little bit of, little sauce in your tea. That's okay. That's just chill. Just chill. Take a chill pill. It's going to be okay. All right, everybody. So, all right, I'm Bishop Long. But before we get into the presentation, Mr. Producer, roll that footage.
Fans of Bishop James Long, the renowned exorcist and paranormal expert on KGRA Digital Broadcasting. Now you can carry his wisdom with you. Our Bishop James Long collection features blessed apparel such as St. Benedict hats and tees, as well as home items to protect and inspire. Elevate your spiritual journey. Go to kgradb.com/shop and discover the Bishop James Long merch today.
All right, everybody. So there you go. Now you saw the little presentation on the items. Here's what I need you to do. First, let's put aside the judgment for like 5 seconds and go to a website called kgradb.com. Again, kgradb.com. So right now we're on KGRADB radio. Now, if you do, click on shop. And when you click on the shop link, just click my name. And here's what's going to happen. They have some amazing items there. Love it, love it, love it. St. Michael items. They have St. Michael, St. Benedict items. And I mean, Christmas is right here. It's right around the corner, guys. 100% of the profits that would go to me for KGRDB selling these items, 100% we're donating to the MKS Kids Foundation. They're right here on TikTok. They are in Uganda. They are an orphanage in Uganda that we're partnering with. So please head on over there, buy the items, kgradb.com, and just click on shop and then my name. Now, if you want to go to my website, you can go to bishopjameslong.com. Let me move this over here. bishopjameslong.com. And here's what I need you to do. Okay. I need you to scroll down. This is a brand new book that I have out. It's Bishop Long's Paranormal Investigators Training Manual. It's about over 260 pages. It's a lot of work went into this. So I'm very proud of it. Again, it's Bishop Long's Paranormal Investigators Training Manual. Now, if you go to bishopjameslong.com, scroll down, you'll see it. Here's why I want you to purchase it. 100%. 100% of the profits from selling this book, my work, we are donating to the MKS Kids Foundation. 100%. And that this is not, there's no certain time. It's perpetual. It's forever. Well, as long as there's a site up there. So anyway, bishopjameslong.com, scroll down. You'll see it right there. You'll see my book, Paranormal Investigators Training Manual. Purchase the book, and 100% of the profits goes to them. And so they would appreciate that very much. And certainly, I think, again, why not? Got to help each other. We have to help each other. And I want to thank Jason McLeod for looking at some of the things and giving me some feedback. That was very, very nice of him. By the way, don't forget, if you go to bishopjameslong.com, click on resources. And there is a list of books that I absolutely love. Some of my books, some of my mom's cookbook, by the way, she was an amazing cook. And that's up there. But also Jason McLeod's book is there. Jason McLeod worked with the Warrens. He was trained by the Warrens. And he has Dark Siege up there, which is phenomenal. They need to make a movie out of this. They really need to make a movie out of Dark Siege. So if you have not purchased it, you do yourself a favor and do it. It is really pretty amazing. And don't forget, one more time before we head out of this little, we got to do the business part of it all. That's just the way it goes. But if you go to bishopjameslong.com and if you click on the resources, if you scroll all the way down there, look, guys, Grace is a friend of ours of the show, and she does amazing work on icons. Oh my goodness, she donated the Blessed Mother icon to us, as well as Saint Michael. They're beautiful. So if you're looking for icons, you need to make sure you head on over to her website. She actually does them from scratch, and tremendous work, really tremendous work. And then, of course, if you want to go to the church's website, well, that's easy too, usocc.org. Okay? SCC, are you not getting enough attention? Are you not getting enough attention? Yes, you got the attention that you needed. Poor baby. Trolling clergy on Halloween? I'm sorry. Go watch a movie. Go watch a movie. I mean, you're actually close. You're trolling clergy during Halloween, dude. I live a pretty boring life, relatively. I mean, on a Friday night on Halloween, you're trolling clergy. Poor guy. Poor little fella. Poor little fella. Yeah, be blessed and be blocked. Okay. So happy Halloween, everybody. Yeah, it's Halloween. We'll leave the chat on for a little while on TikTok. I'm sure we'll have to put sub chat on. And you were rude to them. That's okay. That's okay. You just have to pat them on the head and give them the attention that they desperately need. For some reason, adults need attention from complete strangers online. Whew, okay. Hey, we don't, no judgment here. Yeah, that's a little bit of a judgment. That's a little bit of, I'm sorry. That's a little bit of a judgment. That's, I'm not going to take that back. Okay. No, I am not Big Mama. I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights on. 5 lights. So yeah, you can go out to Facebook and come on over to Facebook. Or I'm not allowed to say that. You can't say it because you get in trouble. Oh, well, whatever. Okay. Well, hello, Texas. Well, thank you, Big Mama. I appreciate that. Yes, I am a real priest. This is not a costume. I am a real priest. Actually, I serve as an exorcist for the church. And so I've been serving for 25 years. Hello, 25 years for the church. And I performed 33 documented exorcisms on people who were truly possessed. I was on Ghost Adventures, the Bobby Mackey's episodes. I was also on Eli Roth Presents Legion of Exorcists show, which you can watch on HBO Max and all the streaming places. So anyway, that's and National Geographic and History Channel and all that other stuff. But tonight is it is a Friday night paranormal. Thank you guys for the gifts. I appreciate all of you. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the history of Halloween. Is it demon? You're the demon. You're doing the demon's work. Just go take a 5-hour energy drink or go walk around the block. Just get that energy out. It's okay. It's okay. So I appreciate that, Melanie. Anyway, we're going to talk about Halloween, and we're going to give you a little bit of eat some candy. We're going to talk about, is it demon? Where is this? Where did it come from? Why do people do this? And why are people celebrating it? Is it the work of the devil? Let me just say this first of all. I grew up Roman Catholic. I was a cradle Catholic from cradle. That's why we call it cradle Catholic. I have to explain this to the trolls. So just, you guys got to be patient. Be patient. Nonetheless, so I remember one of the fondest memories that I had in my childhood is there was a big parish, big road. It was a big church. And underneath this church was a massive, it was like a dungeon. It was dirt floor and it had these big columns It wasn't very tall. I don't remember being very tall. I mean, you can stand up, but it wasn't much taller. That's bigger than that. Maybe 8 feet, 9 feet ceiling. That's it. And so my parents decided to work with the council, the parish council, to have a haunted house. Now, they loved the idea, but at that time, my uncle at that time also helped. And they put on one of the scariest haunted houses in the state of Kentucky. And that was according to the news. And I remember this. And even Father Tom, he was Dracula. He was Dracula. So all those of you who are Roman Catholic who are saying we're going to burn in the fiery pits of hell, a priest dressed up as Dracula and participated in the haunted house. Okay. Matter of fact, it was so scary that they had, I know one, I thought there were 2 ambulances there that it was always parked because people were passing out so much because of fear. It was scary. I mean, this haunted house was no joke. And so I remember that as a kid. I didn't even want to go through it. I mean, I knew all the scenes and everything. And so even as a kid, I was like, I don't know if I really want to go through this thing. It was phenomenal. I mean, people were passing out. It scared people. And you got to understand, it was a long haunted house. So I grew up in a family that always celebrated Halloween. I grew up in a neighborhood where kids, they dressed up and they trick or treat. Or when I was a teenager, I dressed up as one of the scary monsters, Halloween, like Jason or something, or Michael Myers. And I would have candy next to me and they think it was a stuffed dummy and I would stand up and scare the kids. Look, there's so many people that get so rigid on the rules. You forget to live life. It's about fun. And by the way, their son happened to grow up to be an exorcist. So I'm not a devil worshiper. I don't like the devil. I fight the devil. And I just think people got to, now I certainly don't think, people dressing up as demons and all this other stuff, that's a problem. And I want to say this before I want to, because I think this is important. And then we're going to get into the presentation of the history of the Halloween. And by the way, tonight, here's what I want you to do. In a moment, not now, but in a moment, I'm going to call you guys. And I'll tell you where you're going to put the number. So you're going to send me an email. I'll give you the email in a moment. And you're going to give me your name and your phone number. And I will call you tonight. Each person gets 5 minutes and 5 minutes only. That's it. 5 minutes, folks. Because to be fair, there's other people that want to chat. So 5 minutes. Moderators, we're at a time. And I will tell you, okay, I'm calling Sally Jane. I'm getting ready to call you. And I will call you. And I want you to tell me some of your scariest, maybe one of your scariest Halloween stories that you have. Okay, maybe growing up or going to, but remember, you get 5 minutes. That's it. To be fair, 5 minutes per person. Okay. But I want to say this one thing very quickly. Because I can't keep silent about this. I believe that every single person has a right to your political beliefs, whether it be Democrat, Republican, or independent. But I'm going to tell you something very, very blunt. People are actually going around and wearing and putting together a Charlie Kirk Halloween costume with blood stains on their shirt, with having freedom written on the top of it. If you think that is okay, please unfriend me. Unfriend me right now, because I don't want nothing to do with you. Now, look, there were things that I did not agree with Charlie Kirk. Absolutely. I have no problem admitting that. But if you are so mentally ill that you think wearing a white shirt with the freedom on it and then having blood all over it as if, well, it's blatantly Charlie Kirk. If you think that's okay, then you don't even realize the devil has already whipped your ass. and you're just a puppet for it. That is sick. That is demented. That is demonic. It is evil. And if you think that's okay, just unfriend me, because you and I will never see eye to eye on just basic ethics. Never. Never. So I just have to say that. That is disgusting. That was disturbing. And how people think that's funny. Okay, when you meet God face to face, you'll find out how funny that is one day. So anyway, it is sadistic. It is sadistic, and you can go on there. It's on there. It's online. The Charlie Kirk Halloween costume, and people think that they're being funny. No, you're being stupid. You're being demonic. You're being demonic. And this has look. Like I said, you can believe in whatever you want to believe. Your politics is your politics. I don't judge anybody. If they're a Republican, okay. If you're a Democrat, okay. If you're independent, okay. But that goes too far. And I can't. You all know me. I don't talk politics here, okay. But I will not be silent on this. It is evil. So in that case, that costume is just as bad as someone going around wearing a devil costume and saying that you're the devil. Actually, I think it's worse. It is evil. So, just want to let you know, people have been asking about that, and I saw it, and I'm appalled. I am appalled. Okay, all right, fair enough. So I just want to let put that out there. You can Google it. But I encourage you, understand many of you will probably be sickened. Well, people who have morals and ethics will be sickened. People who are demonically oppressed will think it's wonderful. I would encourage you to take a spiritual inventory real fast before you meet your maker. All right. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. So anyway, you can ask a question. Yeah, but keep it, guys. I want to. This is our Halloween show. So when I call you, I want you to stick to tell a Halloween story. So you can ask a question, be happy to talk about it. Ask a quick question, but I just really want you to. So we're gonna try to stay focused on that. Oh wow, Charlie! Wow, always muted. Imagine. Okay, so let's get into our presentation of the history of Halloween. Okay. Yeah. What are you gonna? And we'll talk about that in a moment. So later on, I'm going to be calling you, and I'll tell you what to do. Okay, excellent, Patty. And I'll thank you. I'm glad. And I will be calling you guys today. I'll let you know in about a half an hour what email to send your number to. All right. So today's presentation is going to be the fascinating history of Halloween. And as we approach this spooky season, it's a perfect time to delve into the origins and the evolution of this beloved holiday. Moderators, let me know if the chat gets too bad on TikTok. Just let me know, and I'll be happy to put the sub chat on. I'd rather not, but I will. Okay, so we're going to explore the ancient roots of Halloween, its transformation throughout the centuries, the customs, traditions associated with. So let's embark on this, okay? Hello, Wales. Welcome. Okay, our story begins thousands of years ago with ancient Celtic festival known as Samhain. Now, some people would say it's Samhain. It's officially pronounced as Samhain. Some people say it's Samhain. Well, we saw that on the Halloween movie. They pronounce it as Samhain. It's Samhain. And Samhain marked the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter in the Celtic calendar, which was celebrated on the night of October 31st. And it was believed that on this night, the boundary between the living and the dead was blurred. Spirits could freely roam the earth. To ward off malevolent spirits and honor the deceased, the Celts, what they did is they lit bonfires, and they wore costumes made from animal skins. And they also left food and offerings outside their doors to appease the spirits. So this ancient festival laid the foundation for many of the customs that we actually associate with Halloween today. Now, for those of you who know that I always like to teach. That's a passion of mine. So what I want is to teach about us. Yep, you do, Fletcher. So one night a week, we dedicate to the secular world, the paranormal, one night. The rest of the week, we pray, and we have night prayer, and we have Bible study. Okay. So with the spread of Christianity, thank you for sharing, by the way, and thank you for the gifts. The Celtic festival of Samhain underwent a real transformation. Okay. And this transformation was pretty powerful. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory III designated November the 1st, All Saints' Day, also known as All Hallows' Day. And the night before, October 31st, was also known as All Hallows' Eve. That eventually became Halloween. And the Christian influence brought new elements to the celebration. The practice of honoring saints and martyrs on All Hallows' Day merged with existing Celtic customs. So, by the way, the tradition of souling emerged. And souling means people would go door to door offering prayers for the dead in exchange for money or food. Well, that practice later evolved into the modern tradition that we have as trick or treating. Now, the history of Halloween in America is really intertwined with the arrival of Irish and Scottish immigrants in the 19th century. What they did is they brought their Halloween traditions with them, including the carvings of turnips or pumpkins into jack-o'-lanterns. And the use of pumpkins became so popular due to their abundance, thank you, and the influence of Native American harvest traditions. So by the earlier 20th century, Halloween transitioned into a community center holiday with parades, parties, and of course the new iconic costumes. The emphasis shifted from religious and supernatural elements to more secular celebration, for both children, thank you guys, and adults. So in the mid-20th century, Halloween became more commercialized and influenced by popular culture. The rise of mass media, movies, television, played a significant role in shaping Halloween as we know it today. And again, for those of you who are just joining us, we're talking about the history of Halloween, where it came from, why we celebrate what we celebrate, and what it all means. And trick-or-treating, by the way, became a widespread tradition. Children going door to door to the neighborhoods, dressed in costumes, collecting candy. Hello. So then Halloween parties, haunted houses, festive events, it become an integral part of celebration that we know today. Yep, just started. Now, while Halloween is most commonly associated with Western countries, its popularity has spread globally. And actually, in recent years, Halloween gained traction, thank you, in various parts of the world, including Asia and even Latin America. But it's interesting because each culture incorporates their own unique customs. But I want to go into a deeper explanation of this, because there is so much when you look, and I love the fact that many people don't know the Samhain. When people say it, drives me crazy. It drives me crazy when people say that. Samhain. Okay. Yep. So let's go into the deeper explanation. I'm a nerd, so I'm going to go into history because I love history. So as mentioned earlier, the ancient Celtic festival as Samhain playing a significant role in laying the foundation of Halloween. So the Celts, they inhabited areas of present-day Ireland, the United Kingdom, France, and they celebrated Samhain on the night of October 31st. That was a huge festival. It marked the end of the harvest season and at the beginning of winter. So also known as Celtic New Year. Now, the Celts, but they believed on the night of Samhain, the boundaries between the world of the living and the world of the dead, they were blurred. This is where we get that. A lot of people talks about how the veil is thinnest on Halloween. Well, that's where we get this. They believe that the spirits of the deceased would return to earth along with other supernatural entities. And that belief led to customs, rituals aimed at appeasing or warding off these spirits. So bonfires, it was huge, played a central role in the Samhain celebrations. The Celts, they would light bonfires, and that provided warmth and light during the long winter nights. These fires were also believed to have protective and cleansing powers. They believed it drove away evil powers or spirits. And people would gather around the bonfires, wearing costumes made from animal skins, and engage in various rituals. And additionally, the Celts would leave food and offerings outside the doors to pacify the wandering spirits. And they believed that providing these offerings, they would ensure the goodwill of the spirits, protect their homes, their crops from any demons. Now, the concept of divination was also closely associated with Samhain. It was believed during this time, the veil between the worlds of the dead and the living, it was so thin, it was possible to gain insight into the future. So people would participate in various divination practices like apple bobbing, mirror gazing, performing rituals to predict marriage prospects or fortune. So what happened when the Romans conquered the Celtic territories, their own festivals merged with Samhain. And one such festival was Feralia. That was held in late October to honor the dead. Another was Pomona. That was a Roman goddess of fruit and trees. So from Pomona, we get the association of apples with Halloween as a symbol of harvest. So it's important to, I think, to note the details of these ancient Celtic celebrations and the rituals. They're not extensively documented. So a lot of this is folklore. Thank you. However, it is through these ancient traditions and beliefs that the roots of Halloween, as we know it today, began to take shape. So let's go into the Christian influences on Halloween. In the 8th century, the Catholic Church, well, they sought out to Christianize pagan festivals and customs, thank you, including the Celtic festival of Samhain. And Pope Gregory III designated November the 1st. Thank you very much, Starla. Thank you. It's beautiful. So Pope Gregory III designated November the 1st as All Saints' Day, also known as All Hallows' Day, to honor saints and martyrs. And the evening before, October 31st, came to be known as All Hallows' Eve. Again, it turned into Halloween. And by aligning the new Christian holiday with the existing pagan festival, the church aimed to provide a religious alternative, transforming the meaning of the celebration. So the intent was to shift the focus from pagan beliefs and practices to a Christian context. And then with the introduction of All Hallows' Eve, Christian elements began to intertwine with the existing customs and traditions. For example, the practice of souling emerged during that time. So again, as I said, that souling, as S-O-U-L-I-N-G, poor Christians would go door to door, offering prayers for the dead in exchange for soul cakes, which were small round cakes made with spices and currants. So instead of judging, why don't you actually watch? I want you to listen to the presentation, and then you learn the history of it, and then you can understand, in fact, why Halloween is what it is today. Okay, so the practice later evolved into the modern-day tradition of trick-or-treating. And during the medieval period, mumming or guising also became associated with All Hallows' Eve. Thank you. Oh, sorry, I'm not talking to you. You're always very kind. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Please keep in mind that I have multiple platforms running right now. So I have two computers, this computer and this computer. So a lot of people are sending me messages on Messenger and other places as well. Thank you. Okay. What was mumming? Well, mumming involved wearing costumes and masks while like performing plays or songs. And that was often with themes of death and the afterlife. So guising referred to the practice of dressing up in disguises and going from house to house, singing, performing in exchange for food and treats. And as Halloween continued to evolve, new Christian traditions and customs became intertwined with the festivities. So the use of soul lights, thank you, the use of soul lights or candles, they were placed in hollowed out turnips and later pumpkins. This is why we have lights in the pumpkins. It began to symbolize the souls trapped in purgatory. That's pretty, see, for me, I love history like this. So when you see a jack-o'-lantern with a light, the reason is it was an intertwine of this soul lights or candles for praying for the souls in purgatory. And these carved vegetables eventually transformed into the iconic jack-o'-lantern that we know today. Now, it's important to note that while the church attempted to Christianize Halloween, some pagan elements persisted and blended. Thank you very much. So the belief in supernatural beings, like such as ghosts, witches, and other spirits, it continued to be a part of the Halloween folklore. So Christian influences on Halloween brought about the establishment of All Hallows Eve, the practice of souling, and the emergence of trick-or-treating, as well as soul cakes, mumming, guising, and the Christian elements combined with the ancient Celtic customs, which shaped what we know as Halloween today. So how did it get from this to America? We talk about the Celts and a little bit of history of this. Well, Halloween's arrival in America, it really can be traced back to the mid-19th century with the migration of the Irish and Scottish immigrants. Absolutely, Christians can celebrate Halloween. Look, I've said this in the very beginning for those of you who are new. I serve as an exorcist for the church. I grew up Roman Catholic. The Roman Catholic priests celebrated Halloween. We had a huge haunted house at the church in the basement for Halloween. So yes, I think people get to the extreme on this. So the immigrants brought with them their Halloween traditions and customs. Okay? So Irish immigrants in particular played a significant role in shaping the American Halloween that we know today. They brought the tradition of carving turnips or potatoes into lanterns, often depicting faces or scary figures, and placed them in windows and outside their homes to ward off evil spirits. And the availability of pumpkins in America, it led the shift from turnips to pumpkins for carving, giving the rise to jack-o'-lanterns. And during the 19th century, Halloween in America, it was primarily a community-centered holiday. Neighbors come out together, celebrate with harvest parties, storytelling, things of this nature. Sorcery, okay, fine, then don't play it. Why are you so worried about what everybody else is doing in their life? Grow up, get a life. Anyway, these gatherings including, happy Halloween. Anyway, these gatherings including traditional Irish and Scottish customs, such as bobbing for apples, where participants would try to catch apples with their teeth from, obviously. I never liked that. I never liked that. And as Halloween continued to evolve, it became increasingly popular. Yeah, just block the people who are trolling clergy on a Friday night on Halloween because they have nothing else better to do because they want attention because their mommy and daddy didn't give them attention when they were growing up. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Halloween parties and parades became common, with people dressing up in costumes and masks, and the costumes often drew inspiration from folklore, mythology. So the commercialization of Halloween, it began in the early 20th century. Yeah. With the production of the Halloween-themed postcards, decorations, and costumes. Now, the holiday started to appeal to a broader audience, including children and adults. The emphasis shifted from religious and supernatural to more secular celebration. And again, trick-or-treating, as we know it, emerged during the time. But we know the souling was very important at that time. And you got to remember, it really gained popularity in the United States in 1930s and 1940s, the trick-or-treating. And over the years, Halloween became deeply ingrained in the American culture. In recent times, by the way, Halloween has expanded beyond traditional boundaries, gained popularity in many other parts of the world. It's been really a global celebration. I think maybe the people who don't like Halloween, is it because you don't have a costume? No. They don't have a costume. You're mad? I'm sorry. Some friends on TikTok are angry. They don't have a costume. You could dress up as Mr. Producer, but then you would really scare everybody. You don't want to do that. Okay. So let's explore the modern day customs and traditions. Well, okay. Modern Halloween has evolved into a vibrant, diverse a celebration encompassing a wide range of activities and customs. They did. 4316. So costumes and dressing up. One of the most recognizable aspects of Halloween is the tradition of wearing costumes. Like, for example, trolls, you have a costume. You're a troll. See, you don't ever take it off. You really should learn how to take the costume off, though. That's very, very important. You don't want to be a troll 24/7. Halloween, but you really should take that costume off. I'm just saying. And children and adults alike enjoy dressing up as their favorite characters. Now, superheroes, costume parties, contests, parades become very, very popular. Trick-or-treating, obviously very, very, that is just popular. Jack-o'-lanterns, carving pumpkins into jack-o'-lanterns. That's something that just has exploded. Haunted houses. Halloween is a time for thrilling experiences. Haunted houses have become a popular attraction, as some of them are pretty intense. Halloween is closely associated with the fall season and harvest celebrations. Many communities organize fall festivals, hay rides, apple picking, etc. Thank you. We all decorations and home displays. Now, some people really they go full force in this. People take great joy in adorning their houses and gardens with Halloween-themed decorations. Okay. Just good for them. Good for them. And as Halloween has become more global, different cultures contributed their own customs and traditions. Like, for example, Dia de los Muertos, that's the Day of the Dead in Mexico and other Latin America countries, thank you very much. Thank you, Sarah. They have influenced Halloween celebrations with their vibrant sugar skulls and other things. Additionally, various Asian countries have adopted Halloween, and they've also have cultural practices. The common thread across these celebrations is the spirit of fun, creativity, a touch of spookiness. And I think that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And I really want to talk about the global influences on Halloween, because I think it's pretty cool to know what other people are going through, what they're doing in other countries. So I says the Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. It's originating in Mexico, celebrated throughout Latin America. And it's a colorful festival. It coincides with Halloween. It's a time to honor, remember deceased loved ones. And the influences of this celebration can be seen in Halloween celebrations with sugar skulls, marigolds, it's just a beautiful celebration. And All Saints and All Souls Day in many Catholic countries like Spain, Italy, Philippines, All Saints Day, which is November the 1st, tomorrow, and All Souls Day, November the 2nd, Sunday, those are important holidays. And these days are dedicated to honoring and remembering the dead. And in some regions, these traditions intertwine with Halloween. And in Asian festivals, in recent years, like Halloween has gained popularity in some Asian countries. Like, for example, in Japan, Halloween is celebrated with costume parties, parades, and themed events. However, it incorporates elements of Japanese folklore and anime culture. And in South Korea, Halloween has become a festive occasion with costume parties like K-pop and other Korean pop culture. Thank you very much. So Halloween origins lie in Celtic traditions. And some European countries still maintain their own unique customs, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with this. All Halloween continues to evolve and gain recognition around the world. It serves as a platform for cultural exchange, creativity, having fun, and spending time with your family and loved ones. And I think that's okay. I think sometimes we get so extreme and so judgmental that we see anybody having a little bit of fun, then we get angry, or some people do. But it's interesting, a little bit of tidbits, and then I'm going to tell you some stories that I have gathered, and then we're going to call you guys in a moment. Yeah, look, here's the deal. People dressing up as demons and the devil, probably, I don't think that's a good idea. People having a Charlie Kirk costume, no, that's demonic. That's evil. That's immoral, unethical. That's a different level of, I don't know. But you're dressing up as what? Power Rangers? I mean, come on. It's interesting. Did you know that most people are buying costumes for their pets? Americans spend some $700 million on costumes for their pets in 2023. That was more than 3 times they spent in 2010. I'm wearing a costume. Yeah, that was good. How long did it take you to make that up? You really shouldn't check GPT for insults because it's not very bright. And you should sue your brains for non-support. Okay, so as I was rudely interrupted, yeah, Halloween parties, now movies, I tell you what, scary Halloween movies that has a long history of being at box office hits. Classic Halloween movies include like Halloween franchise. Man, based on 1978 original film. That was phenomenal. I remember that. I remember the Halloween 2 coming out. That was, I'll never forget that. Yeah, the Souls Cake was interesting. The American tradition of trick-or-treating, again, it goes back to the early days. The distribution of soul cakes, it was encouraged by the church as a way to replace the ancient practice of leaving food and wine for roaming spirits. So the practice, which was referred to as going a souling, it was eventually taken up by children who would visit houses and given food and things of this nature. Now, black cats and ghosts. Let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about that. Halloween has always been a holiday filled with mystery and magic and superstition. We talked about the history of it, but for the friendly spirits, they set places at the dinner table. The Celts left treats at doorsteps along the side. Well, today's Halloween ghosts are often depicted as more fearsome, malevolent, and our customs and superstitions are scarier too. So many people will avoid crossing paths with black cats. Miss Wilma will not, afraid that they might bring us bad luck. By the way, that idea has its roots in the Middle Ages, when many people believed that the witches avoided detection by turning themselves into black cats. You know how some of the extremists who say, "Oh, you shouldn't celebrate. It's Halloween. It's the devil," and you just want to say, "Oh, poor thing. You haven't evolved from the Middle Ages, have you?" Oh, so sorry. Or some people try not to walk under ladders for the same reason. Well, the superstition may have come from ancient Egyptians who believed that triangles were sacred. So I'm telling you, by the way, for those of you who don't know, matchmaking and lesser known rituals, some of these are crazy. Many had to do with helping young women identify their future husbands, reassuring them that they would someday, with luck, by next Halloween, be married. So the 18th century Ireland, a matchmaking cook might bury a ring in her mashed potatoes on Halloween night, hoping to bring true love to the dinner who found it. In Scotland, fortune tellers recommended that an eligible young woman name a hazelnut for each of her suitors and then toss the nuts into the fireplace. The nut that burned to ashes rather than popping or exploding, the story went, represented the girl's future husband. Another tale had it that if a young woman ate a sugary concoction made out of walnuts, hazelnuts, and nutmeg before bed on Halloween night, she would dream about her future husband. Young women, by the way, tossed apple peels over their shoulders, hoping that the peels would fall on the floor in the shape of their future husband's initials. And they tried to learn about their futures by peering at egg yolks floating in a bowl of water, and stood in front of mirrors in darkened rooms, holding candles and looking over their shoulders for their husbands' faces. And there were other rituals as well. Some of them are like, well, that's interesting. But yeah. Okay. Right. Absolutely. The black cats, I'm not really big into the superstition, but there are many people that are. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to tell some scary Halloween stories that people have shared with me. Now, some of the people swear that these stories are real. Now, you can say, yeah, or you can say, what? It doesn't matter to me. If in fact you believe them, you believe them. If not, that's okay. No, I do not believe that black cats are bad or evil, demonic. Not at all. Not at all. I think they're black cats. Thank you very much, Susan. I am not a superstition kind of guy at all. I'll walk right underneath the ladder and not give it second thought. I'll open an umbrella which I've done. Matter of fact, when we had Miss Wilma on with us, well, she was on the phone. She was very superstitious. I had a umbrella right there open when I was doing a show. So no, I'm not. Does it increase in Halloween? A lot of people think that it does. It is interesting. I get a lot more alleged activity or reports of activity on Halloween. But as far as do I see an increase in possession during Halloween? No. So I don't. Okay, here's the first story that I want to share. And then soon I'm going to be giving you an email. And in that email, you're going to put, if you would like for me to call you, we'll be live. I will call you and I want you to share your scary story for Halloween. Okay? In a moment. You're right. And Kitty, actually, a lot of people talk about, the Middle Ages, the Black Plague. Well, here's what happened. The cats, black cats, especially cats, were kind of banned or outlawed or unalived, which was kind of stupid because they believe it was all witches. And unfortunately, they unalived so many cats that the mouse population exploded. And that really just exacerbated the problem for the Black Plague because of their ignorant superstition. And that's what happens when you have people who are uneducated and who are so extreme in their religious views. Sort of what happens today. Okay. First story I want to share with you. It comes from a person who I know. Her name is Sarah. It's a pretty straight edge person. Not the type of person that lies. So Sarah says on Halloween night, Sarah was handing out candy to neighborhood kids when a man in a tattered clown costume, tattered means torn. Gotta be fair. A tattered clown costume approached her porch. His costume was dirty. His face was pale, smeared makeup. He didn't say anything, but he held out a small box. So, feeling uneasy, Sarah asked him to leave. But he just stared at her with his cold, she described it to me as dead eyes. There was something about this person that she told me that was so frightening that she had nightmares. It really startled her. So later that night, Sarah received a phone call from an unknown number. The guy didn't want to leave. And then finally she said, look, if you don't leave, I'm calling the police. I don't want whatever's in this box. Just go away. So later that night, Sarah received a phone call from an unknown number. A distorted voice whispered her address and said, I'll be there soon. So that was it. She was done with Halloween. She locked all the doors and windows. She called the police. And when officers arrived, they found the box that the man had actually handed her. Inside was a photo of Sarah's front door, taken just minutes earlier. Here's the problem. The photo was taken from inside the house. The man was never found. Now that is terrifying. Yeah, Sarah, she's pretty legit. I mean, it was inside. Help you with what? Yeah. Okay. Now look. Yeah. I'm going to have to upload and fix the website for people who have demonic issues because there was some change, and so we have to fix that. So, okay, the next one, a buddy of mine named Jake. I've known him for about 10 years. And Jake is a volunteer firefighter. So a pretty straightforward kind of a guy. So Jake and his friends, they decided to explore an abandoned house. And they're a little small town. He said this was when they were like teenagers. So they just decided to go out and just do it for Halloween. The house was rumored to be haunted. It was abandoned. But when they arrived, he said the house was nowhere to be found. They walked around the block multiple times, but the house had completely, he said, vanished. It was replaced by an empty lot that had been there for years. So as they turned to leave, Jake's phone buzzed, and with a video message showing that the house was fully there. It had a silhouette watching them from the upstairs window. And when they showed the video to locals the next day, no one had ever seen the house. They have no idea. They can't explain this. Let me do a puzzle. That's very interesting. I'm not really sure how that would happen, but I think, well, he's probably a teenager. They probably got a little confused, disoriented, turned around maybe, but they got a some type of video. The next one is Emily. So every Halloween, Emily carved a jack-o'-lantern to place on her porch. Now, I don't know Emily very well, but I know her well enough to where I don't think she'd be lying on this one. So she carved a jack-o'-lantern to place on her porch every Halloween. But she claims that when she blew the lights out in the Halloween, she would hear a voice. And at first, she thought it was just her imagination because she didn't believe in ghosts or demons or any of that stuff. But so she would light it again and blow it out, and she would hear this voice. I kind of thought when she was telling me this, could it be wind distortion by perhaps maybe because if you blow the light out, maybe you're hearing something. That's just what I'm trying to explain it from a logical perspective. But one night, she says that she found dozens of carved pumpkins glowing on her front porch. She had one, and on Halloween night, she had her little pumpkin out there. She was going to go trick-or-treating, or she was with the kids. She walked out, and she said there were dozens. No one knows who put them there. No one knows why they were put there. She couldn't tell what this whisper says, but she said that she kept hearing something. And she had no idea what it was. But every time she would blow out the candle, because she had it out for like a couple weeks before Halloween, she would blow it out and she would hear a voice. She had no idea what it was. She had no idea what it said. But on Halloween night, she was inside. She came outside, trying to get ready for Halloween, put the candy outside, and there was dozens of pumpkins. Even to this day, she has no idea why. So Lucas found an old vampire. I do not know Lucas, so I can't verify if this is true. But Lucas found an old vampire costume in his attic, and he decided to wear it to a Halloween party. And as soon as he put this vampire costume on, he felt different, stronger, faster, weird. And at the party, he noticed that people were looking at him even a little bit more odd. People claimed that his eyes dilated and that there was something not right with him at all, something eerie. And these were people that allegedly were his, friends from work. This was a Halloween work party. But as soon as he took off, he remembers taking off the jacket and the vest. Once he took the jacket and the vest off, it just seemed, he said this, it just kind of stopped. Everybody acted normal. Why that is, don't know. Now this story here is on Halloween night. Sarah answered the door to find a little girl in a tattered costume asking for candy. When Sarah reached for her bowl, the girl was not there. Thinking that it was a prank, Sarah went to bed, but the girl returned every hour, each time closer and each time more transparent. Finally, Sarah discovered the girl was the spirit of an alleged child who had disappeared in the neighborhood years ago, searching for someone to remember her. Sarah promised to light a candle for every year, and the girl's visits stopped, except on Halloween night. Okay. Yeah, I mean, all right, let's talk about Jake. So Jake loved looking at himself in the antique mirror he found at a yard sale. But on Halloween, his reflection allegedly did not mimic, thank you very much, thank you, Within, did not mimic his movements. Instead, he claims it smiled wickedly while Jake frowned. The reflection began allegedly to speak, warning Jake of a curse that would trap his soul inside the mirror by midnight. Desperate, Jake smashed the glass, but the shards only multiplied surrounding him. His reflection stepped out, leaving Jake trapped inside the mirror forever. Jake, whatever you're drinking, I think it's time for you to put it down. Because that seems a little, yeah. Okay. Right. But now I have heard a lot of people. Matter of fact, I do have a haunted mirror. I did bring it. Well, I don't want to bring it. I don't want to show it because it's too. I have several of my haunted items that I brought just in case today, but it's in the other room. You want to see? Okay. All right. So people want to see this, so I'm going to bring up just a few things. So I'm going to. All right. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to play something very, very quickly on all the Facebook, YouTube, and everybody else, KGRADB Radio. I'm going to play something just to, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to bring a couple items in that I did bring with me. And so, Mr. Producer, if you see this, so hang tight, and I'll be right back. I'll be right back. There we are. This was this is a mirror. It's a very simple mirror. I have blessed it, and I'm going to tell you the story behind this. So a family, well, not a family, a mom was a single mom. She was kind of heavy into the dark stuff. And I mean, really heavy. Not, I should say that. And so she would do seances and she would use Ouija boards. The purpose of that is she would, at night in her room, she'd play the Ouija board. And because she had serious financial issues, she believed that perhaps maybe she could make whatever deal she had to make with whoever, whatever she had to make with, so that she could make money. Because, thank you very much. So she would play with the Ouija board. She would put this mirror right in front of her, and she had put a black candle. She would light the black candle, and the goal was for her to summon whatever it is that she needed to summon, in hopes that maybe that she could be financially comfortable. So this story is pretty aggressive. This is actually this is a case that I worked. So this is one of my cases. Unfortunately, the case is, so I got involved with it. She claimed that it worked and that she was able to get income or money from sources that she didn't expect. And she got deeper and deeper and deeper into summoning Ouija boards, doing seances with this mirror. Unfortunately, she had a little bit of it. I got to be careful with what I'm saying because TikTok rules and regulations. There was an individual that became rather obsessed with her, dangerously obsessed with her. And he would leave satanic symbols on her front door, on her siding of the house, on her car. And she could tell that obviously and this guy just out of nowhere, he just chose her. She then started having some pretty violent activity in the home. She got the money that she wanted, but she paid an unbelievable, horrible price. Her kids were terrified. Her kids were horrified. What they experienced in that home was evil, pure evil. And it's because of what she did. But she was desperate. So I have the Ouija board, and I have the mirror I have blessed this. I have blessed both the Ouija board. I have blessed the mirror as well. But she had put the mirror right in front of the black mirror, or the black candle right in front of it. And she would summon whatever she had to summon, demons, whatever it was, in order to help her financially. Again, like I said, it worked. But then she started getting this horrible activity in her home, the smell of like rotten flesh. Kids were terrified. And this man, all of a sudden, just this man. So anyway, I'll show you briefly. This is a basic, remember, this has been blessed. And so, but it's just a basic mirror. And it's interesting, you can kind of see something there. Well, that's kind of hard. That's what it looks like. This is the and this is the board that she used for her seances. That's the board. So I went to her home and I did a prayer of deliverance and the minor rite of exorcism. I blessed the kids. There was some really serious violent activity in that home. What she did was really, I understand people get desperate, but the problem is that she got really, and she read online from people saying that, well, this is spiritualism. This is okay. You know, it's not going to hurt you. Well, see, that's the problem when you read crap like that online, and then people fall into this. Like, well, that's a problem. Okay. So here's what I want you to do. Let's do this now. If you would like for me to call you and you want to be on the show, fix this jack-o'-lantern. This is what I would like to do. Yes, she was delivered. I want you to send me an email. And here's the email. First, all I want you to do is put your name and your phone number. Don't forget your area code. So what I'm going to do is call you, and I want you to share a 5-minute scary Halloween story that you want to share with us. Remember, it must be 5 minutes, and then we're going to say, well, I'm sorry, we're going to go on to the next person to be fair. Okay, because I know a lot of people want to talk. I get it, but we got to be fair to everybody. Here's the email address. Very simple. bishopjameslong@gmail.com. That's it. All one word, bishopjameslong@gmail.com. We're not talking theology right now. We're not talking about, look, this is one night a week where we have our Paranormal Friday show. So we talk theology every single day. Every day. And I answer your theology questions every day. This is one night a week. We're only focused on Halloween scary stories, guys. Come on. Okay? To be fair. So bishopjameslong, LONG.com. And by the way, if you're overseas, I can't pay for overseas. Come on. So Bishop James Long, I wish I could, but I cannot do overseas. I mean, if Skype was still around, sure. But unfortunately, Skype's not around anymore. Dumb. I wish they were, because if they were, I'd be more than happy to have this and call you. I could, but no. Okay. Gmail.com. That's right. So bishopjameslong@gmail.com. Don't forget, all you got to do is put your first name and then put your phone number. And then well, thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't really do a whole lot about WhatsApp. I don't do a whole lot of WhatsApp. Okay. If you're cursed, why do you think you're cursed? Yeah. And I don't think you can call people on Messenger overseas. I don't think. But I don't know. I don't know if I can do that or not. The WhatsApp? Maybe I can. I don't know. I mean, I have WhatsApp, so maybe I can. Okay. So we have a few people. Helen, I'm going to call you. All right. So let me, again, guys, I'm trying to do this the best way I know how, and I'll do the best I can. Okay. So Helen, I'm getting ready to call you in just a second. Let me find your number here. Okay. Oh. Sorry, one second. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to do the best I can. It's not like I have a staff. Okay, Helen, I am calling you. Let's make sure that this is on. And then we're going to call Helen and see what story she has for us in just a second. There we go. Let's get Helen on the phone.
Hi.
Well, hello there. How are you? Oh, one second. There we go.
Possible. Thanks for calling.
Are you okay? Oh, well, Helen. Helen, you got to answer the phone. Helen, you got to answer the phone. I'll try one more time, but you got to answer the phone. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next person.
Hi.
Hello, Helen. How are you? Well,
As soon as possible. Thanks for calling.
sorry, Helen, you lost your spot. We're moving on, and that's the way it's got to be. And we tried, Helen. We tried, but you got to answer your phone, guys. You got to answer your phone. We can't. Okay. So, Helen, sorry. All right. Anne Marie, we're going to call you in just a second. So let me set this up. Yep, you got to call. You got to answer. All right. Here we go, Anne Marie. You're being called now.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the...
Folks, you got to answer the phone. It did ring. It did ring. There's nothing I can do about that. Call Helen again.
Hi. Please leave your name and number at the tone, and I'll get back with you as soon as...
That's Helen's number. So, okay. All right. We're going to move on. Yeah, we pray the St. Michael prayer during night prayer. Okay, Anthony. So St. Michael prayer is, we'll do that tonight during a night prayer. I don't know what in the world this is. Nope. Move on. Okay. Try this one. Okay, so I'm calling now Rondi. Maybe we'll get lucky on Rondi. Okay, Rondi, here we go. I don't know why we can't get people to answer the phone. Folks, you've got to answer your phones. Bishop James Long at gmail.com.
Hello.
Well, hello, Rondi. How are you? This is Bishop Long.
Hi, Bishop.
Hey. So, yeah, you're the only one that's answered the phone. I'm not understanding why people leave a number. They don't answer. Kind of strange, isn't it? Must be Halloween.
I think they're doing tricks on you, Bishop.
They're doing tricks on me. They are. So you have a story that you want to share with us?
Yeah, I really do. Like on Halloween, it doesn't happen every Halloween, but on occasion, there's like a bowling ball that goes from the rafters across the top of my apartment, and then it goes all the way back. So I'm kind of scared to be here by myself on Halloween.
So, wait, you're saying a bowling ball goes to the rafters to what?
It sounds like a bowling ball when you put a bowling ball down the alley.
I gotcha.
And I can hear it vibrate and feel it, and then it goes back to the other side. And Halloween's kind of really scary for me.
Now, does it only happen at Halloween, or does it happen any other time?
Only on Halloween for that, but I've had other occasions where I can hear a person coming up my steps. There's 20 steps to get where I live. Walk down the hallway. I can hear keys jingle and trying to enter the apartment. And at first I thought it was my father because I gave him a key to my apartment. But I waited a long time and I had friends here, and it's just like, let your dad in. And I opened the door and no one was there.
Now, do you live in an older building? What's the history behind the house that you live in?
Interesting enough that the place that I live used to be an old grocery store.
Hmm.
And on top of this flat roof building, they have built an apartment. So the family that lived in the apartment are also the people that own the grocery store below me. So it does have quite a history.
Well, what do you think it is?
I prefer not to think about it sometimes, Bishop. I listen to you instead.
Oh, well, have you ever had the your house blessed?
I have not. I'm just kind of scared up here sometimes.
Well, I would encourage you. You can type in Epiphany of the Door or Blessing of the Doors. It's a beautiful prayer that you can do. Chalking of the doors, blessing of the doors, and you can absolutely do that. And I would encourage you to. And there's no reason to be I'm not wearing eyeshadow, but thank you so much for paying attention to my eyes.
I didn't say anything about your eyes, but they are beautiful.
No. There was Julia. Julia in chat was asking if I'm wearing eyeshadow. No, it's just
yeah,
my natural eyes. But thanks for. But okay, so this the bowling ball occasionally, and you hear people going up the stairs.
That's true. And you hear them walking down the hallway. You hear the keys, and then I'm like scared.
Well, yeah. Well, hopefully, you don't have to be there's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to be afraid of. Don't give in to the fear. Don't give in to the fear, because if you do that, then you're just going to amplify it. Yeah, you have nothing to be afraid of. Nothing.
No. Well, thank you so much. That's why I listen to you guys for night prayer and everything else, and I thank you for that.
Well, absolutely, and thank you for sharing your story. I appreciate it, and you have a happy Halloween.
Thank you, Bishop. God bless.
You too. Bye-bye. All right, everybody. Well, that's Rondi. Well, there we go. So that worked. That worked out. See, so it's working. The phone is working. Okay. So we have Starla. Starla, I'm going to give you a call here. So Starla, be on the lookout. I found a way to do this without looking at my phone and doing this. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so Starla, I'm going to call you. And again, folks, these are spooky Halloween stories you're going to share with everybody. So just, and the call may come out as block number. I don't know. But just be aware if you get that it might be blocked. I don't know. So Starla's coming up. Remember. Okay, so I have Tom, sorry, Ouija board. Okay. All right, well, here we go. Let's Starla Laws. All right, well, we'll just call. Okay. Here we are. Tom Dula story.
Hello, you Grace.
Well, hello.
Happy Halloween.
Well, happy Halloween to you. And how are you doing on this beautiful Halloween?
I am just here.
You're just here.
I am so off the cut. No one is coming here.
No one is coming to your home for trick-or-treating?
No.
Oh, well, that's, you know what? That's more candy for you. Right?
So, what story would you like me to share, Your Grace? The Tom Dula Road or the Ouija board?
Well, you have 5 minutes, so if you could, I would love for you to share both.
Okay, I will start with the Ouija board. I had a dear friend, a college friend, and so we went to an estate sale, and she took her whole family. They ended up with a Ouija board. I was there one night, and so she lit candles and she asked the stepchildren, oh, do you want to play with this? Well, they did. And they asked, is anyone here? And the first thing it went to is God. That was the answer. And then the next answer is, what's your name? And it spelled God backwards, dog. Well, then the next thing that happened, the candles started to flicker. They started to flicker. And so she and I both went to the table and jerked the Ouija board off the table. And unfortunately, my dear friend and her husband separated. And when they moved out, the Ouija board was still in the house. Well, the home caught fire and burned to the ground.
Oh, wow. And that was after the use of the Ouija board?
It was. And that was one of the things they left in there, because after that incident, she did not trust it so much.
Now, Starla, I noticed that your phone number here, it's not UK, it's not a UK number. Are you located in the States, or have you
Oh, yes, sir. I am in Western North Carolina, but
very nice.
I have lived all over.
That is very, very cool. Based on the States, and where obviously you're from the UK, I assume.
No, I was actually I was born on a military base in Beaufort, South Carolina, and my father was military, but I did live extensively in the UK.
Wow, very cool. See, that's very neat. All right, why don't you tell us about this, the road that you're referring to?
Oh, yes. I don't know if anyone here knows about the legend of Tom Dooley. They say Tom Dooley here. Okay, we had attended my daughter, her cousin, his father lived off of Tom Dooley Road.
Okay.
And so we were there to attend a UFC event, to watch a watch party, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And we were there, and they were having apple juice. And so I was watching all the children. And so they decided, they got bored. It was not time for the main event. And so we're walking down the road. And right off of the road is where Tom Dooley is actually buried. And the headstone had been chipped away. And it's on the Wilkes County line in North Carolina. And there's all kinds of chicken houses around there. So we're out there, we're walking, and all of a sudden a stone comes flying over.
Oh, wow.
Or as they say, rock here. A stone comes flying over. And so little Mark, my daughter's cousin, he throws it back. It immediately comes back. So
Wow.
strange, right?
Yeah.
And so we continue walking. We get near the graveyard, and up in the distance, we see this lantern that we can't explain at all. So I'm not trying to scare the kids, whatever. We continue walking. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, there is a figure appears in the road. She is wearing what I would call Little House on the Prairie nightgown.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like her head is wet, and she looks in distress. And so I tell the children, I said, wait a minute, let me see if I can help this poor individual. And so I'm approaching the individual, and the closer I get to her, the more transparent she becomes. And so the kids are screaming, and that oh, Mom, and all the things. Do you see? I said, yes, let me see if I can help her. When I got approximately 5 feet away from her, she disappeared into vapor. But everything around us got absolutely cold. We could actually see our breath. And I think it was Laura Foster. And her grave is actually approximately 7 miles away from Tom Dooley's. Oh. And
wow.
They took off and they left me. They left me, Your Grace.
Well, thank you so much for jumping on and telling both of these stories. We appreciate that very much. And you have a wonderful, wonderful, happy Halloween. And thank you for being with us.
Oh, you too, sir.
Okay,
happy Halloween all.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was nice. That was cool stories, wasn't it? That's pretty cool. All right, let's get into, we're going to talk to Erica. Erica, I'm giving you a call. So Erica, just be aware that I'm calling you right now. And we're going to chat with you and bring you on. And again, 5 minutes each person, 5 minutes each person, be fair, because we got a lot of people. I'll try to get to as many people as I can. And here we go, Eric. Okay. Hello.
Please leave your message for
Erica.
Okay, Erica, I'm sorry, but I called you and we got to move on. Guys, you got to answer the phone. You got to answer the phone. All right, we're going to call Anne Marie. Anne Marie, let's go. Anne Marie, you're being called right now. So, all right. And here we go. Anne Marie, I'm calling you now, or wherever you're watching. I don't know exactly where Anne Marie is, but okay, Anne Marie. So let's go. Here it is.
Oh,
Well, hello there, Anne Marie. This is Bishop Long. How are you?
hi, Bishop. Thank you. It's good to talk to you.
Well, yeah, likewise. Happy Halloween for you.
Oh, I'm glad it rang and I answered.
I'm glad that you answered too. So we're dying to hear your story.
Oh, you're going in and out.
Okay, what's your story?
So, one night, well, I have so many, Your Grace, but one night I was climbing the stairs to a home I used to live in, and it was after my boyfriend with whom I shared a home with for 16 years passed away, and all this creepy stuff started happening. So I'm climbing the stairs and I hear this growl in my ear. I've never experienced anything paranormal before that. And it just took me back because I knew it was something that was not good. And I called my family. My brother called his girlfriend, and he said, "You got to go over there and help her." Well, his girlfriend, was the one who told me to reach out and mention Jesus's name. But I stayed up all night in a rocking chair with rosary beads. I was so absolutely terrified.
Oh.
And there's another occasion, but it wasn't Halloween, but I'd love to share this if that would be okay.
Yeah, you're kind of cutting out. I think you have your finger over your microphone.
Oh, should I turn it
Yeah,
off?
no, there we go.
Okay. Can I share this other
Of course, yeah.
event that happened? But it wasn't from Halloween, though.
Okay, that's fine. Another scary story.
Okay. So after this boyfriend of mine died, my kitchen, I had moved to an apartment after that. I had to sell my home. My kitchen would stir every time he needed to communicate. Like the trash bag would turn over. There would be noises. Then I would grab my phone and video, so I would at least get the audio. So one night, my son, who was 17 at the time, he was working at a mall, like farther away from me, and we were in the midst of our first snowstorm, and I was so scared. My son's phone was dying. He said, "Mom, there are no buses. I can't get home. I don't know what to do." So all of a sudden, lo and behold, my kitchen started, making noises. I go in, I turn my phone. I said, my boyfriend's name. I said, at first I would always say a prayer for protection. And I said his name. And I said, "Look, if do you have something to tell me?" So I put it on record. I went back into the living room and I'm pacing. And so I left it on for a couple minutes. I go back in, not even expecting to hear anything. So I listened back and I heard, and I still had the recording, clear as day, but it was kind of whispery. He said, "Anne, rest. Brian is just fine."
Wow.
I could not believe it. But I felt relieved because he told me he was going to be fine. My son. Do you believe that?
Oh, I do. I mean, I've heard.
Wow.
I mean, people have talked to me many times. I've heard disembodied voices. Disembodied voices, again, for those of you who don't know, disembodied voices, when you can actually hear, the voice. That's different than an EVP. EVP means it's a digital recorder. You can't hear it. You play it back and there's a voice on it. But I have absolutely heard disembodied voices before. But that's so you think it was just kind of letting you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. because he was around me, protecting me from different things. And I think there was something in the house and I still believe his spirit is around me, protecting me, but I don't reach out because I'm afraid to reach out, because I had things that didn't feel comfortable. I also had a white, what I just think it was an angel. I can't explain it any other way. Appear at the bottom of my bed, and I was fully awake, and it was just beaming with light, surrounded by light. And I said, "Who is it?" And it didn't answer me, but it just poof, disappeared. But it was a human form, because I could tell it was the shape was it, but I couldn't make out any features because of the brilliance of the light. Ever since he died, I've had experiences, but never before.
Very well. Well, thank you so much for sharing your stories. We certainly appreciate that, and happy Halloween. And I hope you have a great night.
Calling. Thank you, Bishop. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Good night.
Okay. Good night.
All right, everybody. That was our friend Anne Marie. Rondi, we're going to call you next. I'll get to as many people as I can. Remember, well, so far we're doing good on time. Remember, 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes, and then we're going to have to stop. So just jump on and tell us your story. Tell us your Halloween story. Or if you have a scary story that you want to tell us, well, tell us. Well, it doesn't matter. We're having a good time on Friday night on this Halloween special. Yes, I celebrate Halloween. And no, I'm not going to burn in the fiery pits of hell. Okay, Rondi, we're going to bring you up next. So Rondi, get ready. I'm calling you now in just a second. You got to answer the phone. It may come in. I don't know what number. We're just using a studio line, so just be prepared for it. All right, Rondi, I'm calling you right now for your story. Here we go. Okay, Rondi. Oh, Anne-Marie does it?
Okay, Bishop. For all other viewers, it does come in as a private number.
Okay.
I know you had asked about that earlier, and I already talked to you. But
okay.
one of the things.
As soon as I saw your name on there twice, it's like, okay, just put your name there once, everybody, because I'm just kind of going down the list as fast as I can.
I know, but the only thing I want to tell you is that I did post something, and I don't mean it to be for me, but for my grandmother, visiting her in the nursing home on Halloween. It was so special.
Okay.
And if you just go see the photo of her face, it's wonderful.
Okay.
But one other thing I wanted to talk to you about.
I tell you, we got to go because we had already had a conversation. I'm not trying to be rude, but there's so many people that want to jump in, and I want to be fair to everybody.
I totally understand.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But we'll do this again.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right, have a good night. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Okay, everybody. Yeah, because there's so many people that have requested to come on and share their stories. I've got to be fair to everybody. And so remember, 5 minutes. We're really strict about this. I don't want to be rude, but 5 minutes. And only send an email once. It's kind of hard for me to remember because I'm going so fast. So don't send 3 or 4 emails. That's not so, because otherwise I won't get to everybody. So just one email. I'll see it. I'm going down the list. I'm going down the list. Okay, here we go. I am calling Victoria. Victoria, you're going to be called next. All right. So Anne-Marie, I've already spoken to you. I see that you got another call there. So we'll take that out. So Victoria, you're going to be called here next. All right. Here we go, Victoria. There it is.
Hello.
Well, hello, Victoria. Bishop Long, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Well, I am fantastic. Happy Halloween. And you have a Halloween story for us?
It's not a Halloween story, but it is a scary story.
Okay, we'd love to hear it.
Okay. So after my mother died, me and my aunt lived together in the house that I grew up in. And she was struggling with some things. And I was more deeper into the Bible than what I am now in my prayer life. And so I noticed that every time I would open my Bible specifically and read it, no matter where she was in the house, whether she was outside, inside, wherever, she would come to my bedroom door and she would I know that whenever you're remembering stuff, sometimes it can be kind of over exaggerated, but it sounded like she was almost like the police was there, like she was going to tear the door down. But I do remember that specifically. And one time this had happened, she was at a friend's house and I was reading my Bible. All of a sudden I hear a car drive up in the driveway. I'm in my room. I have the door locked, and not going to go into that because, for time's sake, but she comes in the house angry. She comes to my door and she knew I was reading my Bible, and she was like, "You need to close your blank, blank, blank Bible. And what are you doing in there? And stop." So me being a person that prays that night, I prayed myself to sleep basically. And
Wow.
I know that it's not possible while you're asleep to be still praying, I'm thinking, but as soon as I woke up, it was like I continued to pray what I fell asleep praying to. And I used to have prayers memorized, such as the act of contrition, the Our Father. And I woke up picking right back up to where I left off. And both of my hands, literally both of my feet, were on my bedroom wall. And later on, 3 months down the road, she had been saved and we were talking about some different things, kind of, she was saying she was sorry for a whole bunch of stuff that had happened or whatever. And she had disclosed to me that night that I'm referring to, where I prayed myself to sleep, and I woke up and my hands were on the wall and my feet were on the wall, that she knew that I was in my bedroom reading my Bible, and she was outside my bedroom window, which is the wall that I had both of my hands on and both of my feet on when I woke up.
That is crazy. That is crazy. And so she's turned her life over, huh?
Yes. Since then, about 3 months later, her sister invited her to this seminar where a celebrity type female preacher basically was coming and doing a women's thing. So she invites her to it, and they did a healing service there. And she goes up front. She gives her life over. She read it or whatever, because I don't know the aspect of it either. She got saved or rededicated her life, and they did I guess you would call a laying of the hands and a healing thing. And I noticed afterwards, and her sister noticed a difference. She used to be into witchcraft when she was in her 20s and stuff. And I remember my mom, because the family dynamics is I was adopted by my grandparents. So my mom was basically her mom that had died. So I remember my mom telling me, while I was a kid growing up, I'd be like, "Mom, why are you concerned about Aunt so-and-so?" And she'd be like, "Well, because, she's doing witchcraft." And then they would get into these discussions, because my mom worked at the church. She would be talking to her, telling her, you don't need to be messing with this stuff, different stuff like that, trying to talk to her, about, different stuff. And she was into all that until that moment when she got saved.
Well, thank you very much, Victoria, for sharing this. We appreciate that, and that's a great story. It's always a wonderful, wonderful ending when we have, turn their life over to Christ. So that's wonderful. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Happy Halloween.
Oh, you too. Bye-bye. Celebrity preacher laying on the hands sounds suspect. Who's celebrity preacher? They didn't say anything about a celebrity preacher. All right, Helen, we're going to give you a call. So Helen, we're calling you now. Okay. Let's bring Helen on.
Hi.
Well, hello there, Helen. How are you doing today?
Give me the number of the tone and I'll get back with you.
Okay, Helen, I'm sorry, but we're moving on. You guys, I can only call, but, all right. I don't know why people of course, there's trick-or-treating going on too. So, all right, so we're going to call Trina. Trina. There we go. Thank you very much, RCD. So we're going to call Trina. What we're calling next looks like we're talking about a Ouija board. Okay, so Trina, here we go. Let's call you. All right.
Hello.
Well, hello there, Trina. This is Bishop Long. How are you?
Oh, just great. How are you tonight?
Well, we're fantastic. We're excited to hear about this this Ouija board story.
Oh, I'm so excited to tell you.
Yeah, what happened? What happened?
Back when I was younger, late teens, me and my cousin, Halloween, we were at the beach. It's a small beach and like on the river. And we decided to go to her friend's house. They had just had a baby, so we wanted to visit with them. And they lived upstairs of their parents, like in an attic area. And so I said, okay, I had never met the couple, but, it was okay. So we went up there. We had a few beers, maybe a couple here and there. And they decided they were going to pull out a Ouija board. Well, I was not liking that part at all. I was just like, I would never do that. And they were like, come on. So it was like peer pressure. And they were like, we need all four of us here. Just put your hands on it. I don't remember what the conversation was with the Ouija board, but it was doing its thing. So, I kind of just like, I'm not going to do that anymore. And so about 3 weeks later, my cousin called me up and she said, did you hear what had happened to, I forgot their names, the couple? I said, no. And they said their house burnt down and the baby died.
Oh, no.
And ever since then, I can't get it out of my head what happened. So I don't even really even saying the name Ouija anymore. But that's something I'll never even pull out anymore for the rest of my life.
Well, let me ask you this. And I'm just playing devil's advocate here, no pun intended, but do you think it's possible that the Ouija board was responsible for that, or that it was just a terrible situation, tragic, that their home burnt down? How do we go from playing with the Ouija board to a house burning down and an infant passing away? How do we go from, okay, now we know that it was the Ouija board, or do you think that the Ouija board really played a role in that?
Well, as far as I know, they did it all the time up there.
Oh, I see.
So I was just new to the situation. I was just a guest that came over. So they lived up in a little creepy attic and, so as far as I know, that was just a regular thing they were doing. And another thing, I do work at a historical preserve place where the home of the Lees, where Robert E. Lee was born. And today, I kind of got out the ghost box today because it was Halloween. And I had a few words to talk about, with them. And I asked him what his name was, and he said John, and I almost fell over. But there's a lot of things going on over there at that old house from 1700s.
Wow. Well, so you don't play with Ouija boards anymore?
Never.
No, good for you. Good. Well, thank you for
And
sharing.
thank you for your beautiful rosary you sent me.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Absolutely. And thank you for praying with us.
Okay, thanks.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so I tell you what, we're gonna do one more, Jacqueline, and that's it. So because we will have to wrap it up for Mr. Producer, and I'll stay on TikTok for just a few minutes longer. But on everybody else, let me just make sure we got the right number there, Jacqueline. So you're going to be called. So we got it's a few minutes here. So let's call Jacqueline.
Hello.
Well, hello there, Jacqueline. This is Bishop Long. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Oh, can you turn that down because we're getting an echo?
I gotta turn down my cell phone. Yes, I am right now.
There we go. Now we're go. All right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all good. So what story do you got for us?
So happy Halloween, first of all.
Happy Halloween to you.
Thank you. Well, this actually happened to me about maybe about 5 years ago. My husband and I had a really big argument. And my son wasn't here. It was just my husband and I. We had a big blowout, and I went upstairs crying, and I was like in the fetal position, crying in my bed, crying. And then all of a sudden, I feel like I have to use the restroom, and I open my eyes, and I see like an orb, and it was like blue and red and yellow. And it was on top of the little refrigerator. I'm a diabetic, and it was I keep a refrigerator in the bedroom for low blood sugars in the middle of the night. That happens from time to time. So I look and I see that orb right on top of the refrigerator. So I turn around to see if there's a light coming in through my window. I don't see anything there, coming through the window. The blinds are shut. So when I go to sit up in bed, that orb disappears. So I said, well, maybe it was because I was crying, and
sure,
and anyways, I go to the restroom. I go, turn on the light in the bathroom. I use the restroom, go wash my hands. I splash water on my face, dry my face, and I go back and I lay down. When I lay down, I'm laying on my back, and like a few moments later, I felt like someone had from the footboard jumped into my bed next to me, but when I felt that it was I don't know what it was, but I felt that the person just like when they fell into bed, it was softly, they didn't land like really hard like it would be if you would normally jump into a bed.
Right.
So for some reason, I extend my hand because I didn't feel afraid though. I extend my hand and I feel an arm, a muscular arm, and this body was laying face down. So I was touching the back of the arm where the elbow's at. And I grabbed, how you have that little skin in the back of the elbow?
Mm-hmm.
And I grabbed that like that, and I started squishing it a little bit. And then I was rubbing the arm. And then all of a sudden, I throw my leg over on their leg. And poof, I passed out. I just went to sleep. The following morning, I wake up and I call my mom. My father passed away when I was 11 months old, 8 days before I turned 1. And I called my mom and I said, Mom, I think I'm losing my mind. I said, this happened to me last night. And she goes, how did you say that this person was laying in bed? I said, he's facing down. And my mom said, don't worry, it was probably your father.
Wow. Very powerful. Very powerful. Well, I
know, right?
Yeah, it is. I wish I could keep you on longer, but we're out of time. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jacqueline, for sharing that story.
Bishop.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Well, these stories are amazing. Absolutely amazing. TikTok, I'll stay with you guys for a little bit longer, but for everyone else, I tell you all the time, your value does not decrease based on a troll's inability or refusal to see your worth. You are priceless, and don't let anyone tell you or convince you otherwise. See you next week.